Hi YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. Today I'm going to show you the difference between these trucks and these trucks. Is it possible to grind with this, or can you only grind when you use white trucks like this? I started using roller skates for grinds and these type of tricks about three and a half years ago. And when I first started, I thought the only way to grind would be using something like these. These are the Toto plates made by Toto Gali. And with these ones, yes, you can do all these types of grinds without basically changing anything. You can just put these plates on any boot and then you'll be able to grind on these. Is it easy to do? Well, you have a lot of space, but having a lot of space doesn't mean that it's easier to do than on something like this. But when you have something like this, which is slimmer, it's about 5.5 centimeters, I think, probably. So if you have something like this, which is, I don't know, this is a Chaya skate, this is the Chaya Karma skate, but when you get like a Moxi skate or something, the width of the trucks, it's the same. So yes, you can also grind on Moxi or Chayas like these, like the ones that Barbara Luciani use. Yes, you can grind with the trucks of those, but for you to be able to grind, the most important thing is the wheels. How do you need the wheels to be able to grind on slimmer trucks like this? If you look at these wheels, these are the Octo Momentums. These are like the newest version. On this side, you see that the bearing is not on surface. On the other side, you see that the bearing is on the surface of the wheel. Something like, let me see, I think it's more visual here. See, the wheel is flat. When in the end of the truck, that's where the wheel starts. Would it be possible to grind with the stock wheels of this Chaya, the warm sand? No. Why? Two reasons. Main reason, the profile of the wheel is not round enough on the edges. Also, this wheel, it's a little bit too big. These are 62 millimeter wheels. This one, it's a 58. I'm gonna show you the difference right now. This will be your coping today. If you don't hear metal, it means that you're not grinding. No metal, right? Now check this out. That's the grinding noise. When you hear metal on metal, now you're grinding. Also really important, if you're gonna wanna grind with something like this or like this, it's gonna be important that the toe stop needs to be under the line of the trucks. On this skate, if you look from there, you can see both trucks and then you see that the toe stop is sticking out. On this one, I pull the toe stop all the way to the top. So if you look from there, you'll see trucks only without seeing the toe stop. Obviously, when you grind, you don't want the toe stop to touch, otherwise it gets stuck, right? Obviously. Also, one of the biggest differences is when you grind with something like this, like I told you before, you have a lot more space, but it's also a lot more unstable, which means that sometimes you're grinding in the middle, sometimes you grind left close to the inner wheels, sometimes you're grinding close to the outer wheels. And if you're starting, it's not as easy as you might think. Yes, it's easier to know that you always lock on the trucks, but if you want to grind, it's not as stable as you would want to, especially if you're trying to grind on a rail. When you use something like that, you're limited to the space, and that will make you a lot more precise. You're gonna need to be a lot more precise, but once you're there, you know you're not gonna be shuffling from one side to the other. It's gonna be stable, it's gonna be a stable grind, which is actually quite cool. I'm gonna show you a few grinds that I've done yesterday. I shot them portrait instead of shooting them landscape because I made them for my Instagram story. So if you're not following me on Instagram, just search for Ricardo Lino, and usually I post some stuff on my Instagram story, stuff like that, so you can see it. I'm gonna show you those clips that I filmed yesterday where you can see me using these Karma skates and doing some grinds, from like double truck grinds, just the rear truck spinning into to grind tricks, some different tricks that you can do with these. And then of course it has to do with your creativity and The more you develop your skills, the better and the more tricks you're gonna start doing. From now on, you know that you do not need these to be able to grind. You can grind with these. Oopsie. You can grind with these. You can grind with something like this. Most important thing, wheels. You want wheels with a flat surface on the inside and with a round profile. At least the inner part of the wheel needs to be round. I don't think there's any wheel with the inner round profile and the outside square. So now, what's one of the biggest advantages of using slim trucks compared to, now I need to pick them up, wide trucks? One of the biggest differences on these things is, again, I'm gonna get the rail. If I'm grinding on something like this is a rail, you wouldn't feel any difference. But if this would be a ledge, when I do anything like this, it would be a lot easier to get stuck on the wheels. And I wouldn't be able to bend my foot as much when I have wider trucks because the wheels are further away from the center of the skate. And that means that would be a lot harder for you to bend your foot and keep control. Because the wheels are closer to the center of the skate, that will allow you to bend your foot. Yes, the wheels will rub, but it's closer to the center, which means that you have more control. When the wheels are far from this center, it will make it a lot harder for you to do that. So now you know it's possible to grind if you have a good block, which this is not the right block yet. This is just a prototype block. The real block will be wider. So if you have the right block and if you have the right wheels, you got the perfect grinding skate. What's their excuse now? No excuses. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribing to the channel, you know what you need to do. Just subscribe to the channel and you'll see more of these in my channel. Okay? Cheers, guys.
Vou viver até quando